Guys, I got a great show for you today. I got a ton of awesome stock picks for swing trading, and I'm going to explain to you how I'm going to be taking all those trades. But before we get into that, I want to read to you today's headlines in a nutshell, so you know what happened at the Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve cut the federal funds rate by 25 points to 4% to address rising employment risks, with a cautious economic outlook, and two more cuts expected in 2025 and one in 2026. Of course, these rate cuts are penciled in. They are not set in stone. They're aiming for a 3% neutral rate. And let's see how the market is reacting to this. Let's get into it. Let's first get into the SPY. So as you can see, right now we're in the after hours and we are still ticking upwards. I had put down a level here around 652, and I said that's like our level to watch. Our next support was down here. We had a little bit of chop during the day, and then as soon as the FOMC news came out, we started pushing up. Not much of a big reaction from the market. A lot of stocks mildly red. But I think it's good because now we have an anticipated two more rate cuts this year, and that is going to drive equities up. And the fact that we had this big wick come in means we are still going to continue upwards within this channel. Likewise for the Qs, very similar. Qs is like right in the middle of the channel, so could go either way, up or down. Likewise for the SPY. Let's take a look at Tesla. Still waiting for a re-entry on this stock. If you're new here, let me explain to you what happened. We had a pennant forming. This is where you got buyers at the top and then you got sellers at the bottom, and it's like a tug of war. It just chops around until you break a trend line. Either it's the upward one or the downward one here. Now, depending on which way you break out, that tells you where the move is going to continue up to. So we had a really big down move, and then we have this pennant formation, really big one, took some time to form, which makes it even stronger, in my opinion. I took a long here, and, I got faked out. And then, I think I took a small one here. This didn't work out. Lost some money on this, obviously. But then I mentioned that once we get above this high volume area here, this on the right side is your volume by price. And when you have a big spike in an area, this means that this is an area that buyers and sellers are very interested in. Once you get through it, it shoots through. You get below it, it starts to tank. It's kind of like a hidden resistance level you can't see on the chart. Unless you have this up. So I took my long from here, and this, rewarded me very well. However, I scaled out as we got very close up to this 419 level, because this coincides with these levels over here where there was, prior resistance. So it's expected that they should meet some resistance here. Now, I'm not saying it's going to come down. It could just chop within this channel and continue up. However, we do have a gap to fill right here. And I think a perfect entry is if we came back to the gap, fill, and then continue upwards. But I am sitting on my hands when it comes to Tesla right now. NVIDIA, a little bit of downward pressure. I'm not liking that the EMAs are starting to tip over. However, we are still holding support, and we kind of have this rounding bottom forming. So this could be just a very complex consolidation. And, I have this level here at around 180. This dotted line is a alert. So once we get a price cross above 180, this is going to be for me an automatic long to all-time highs. Some people might play it down here. I prefer, to ride where there is momentum, so I get the highest chance of success in my trades. Next up is BMNR, Bitmine Immersion Technologies. This one I do have a position in. I called this out about a week ago, and I took my entry, I think it was somewhere around here, this little zone here. As soon as we got through this 46.75 level, I'm like, it's game on. And let us zoom in a little bit, do some nitpicking here, show you what else is going on is that we have this resistance level that was around $55, and we pushed through it. And not only that, we are going up in the after hours. So I am very bullish on this. I didn't have the chance to add to it today, so I might add in tomorrow if we open flat. It looks like to me that we could easily target the $70 range, and I would be looking to take profits up here so I can lock some in, because this would be quite a decent 25% gain. And if you're using, I don't use options on this because their options premium is absolutely outrageous. It makes more sense to own the stock. But 25% to a 40% move is very nice on a trade that could take only a week or two. That is if we get the momentum, but I am waiting for the next wave of excitement in crypto. I think it's coming, and I'm gonna get into Bitcoin and all that other good stuff in just a few minutes. Next up, AFRM. I am still in this one. It's working out really well for me. I got in somewhere around, I think around here. Yeah, it was like around this $86. Went up, came down, looked like it was gonna roll over, but it held this support here, and as it bounced off, I added into it. Now we're going for a retest of this zone up here. This is where we have resistance, and we're gonna see how far this can go. Let me take a Fibonacci measurement here and see where this could go to. So you can see the move started down here to the top, to the bottom. So your most likely area, the Fibonacci is like the 0.618 to the 0.786. So I would target about $97. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good move if we get it, and it definitely has a lot of volatility, and it's been in a long-term uptrend here, as you can see. So I'm heavy on this one. I like it. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree or disagree? Rumble, this one I haven't really traded in the past, but I saw it trending on StockTwits, so I was like, okay, if it's trending, there is interest in it. Let me get it out to the viewers. So you got to really zoom out here to see what's going on. In the short term, it looks like we've just been bleeding down after a retest of this level here, and then we had a really big drop. This has been a long-term move down. However, you are approaching a zone where this is where we like really bottomed out, and it's like the same zone here. This would not surprise me if we get like a big W shape and just get a bounce. I'm not saying it's going to go all the way up. I don't know that, but this is a good risk to reward area. If we come down here, probably your next support is like a 12% drop down to here, which is reasonable considering that you have about 38 to 45% upside. That to me is a good risk reward, in my opinion. So I do have some calls in this. It's still very quiet, but I believe when this pops, you'll get the FOMO will set in, and options premiums will shoot up to the roof. So we'll see. Lululemon, a lot of value investors starting to look at this. I haven't heard anything about what institutions are doing, but the fact is we have had a heck of a flush since early 2024. Going back all the way. See, you got to go all the way back to see what's going on and why it's reacting at this price range. If you come here to 2019, and yes, we are trading near the 2019 levels, you had a resistance here, and this is kind of like your bottom, and it reacted to it a second time when it came down here. So that validates that, yeah, there is a wall here in this zone. And this is where, technical analysis is beautiful. And you'll see that here, it's starting to react to the top of the zone. Now, I want to get in. I don't want to just buy blindly and hope it fills the gap. I want to get the lowest price possible on this. And it may not come down to the bottom here, but I sit and wait, see how it reacts at this zone. So far, we're getting a weak reaction, but it's holding. Now, if we start to go up and we break this dotted line, this is my alert at 169. This would signal to me that we are starting to have a counter trend move. And I think easily the 195 gap fill would be a good target. It could roll over after, or it could continue up. If this is a long-term bottom, as I showed you here, if this is it doesn't want to come all the way down here and it finds its bottom, then we will be headed up much higher, and that's a lot of upside on Lululemon. This is, of course, putting aside all stuff about tariffs and the politics that's going on, but just charts for me. This is your chart of human emotion, how the market is reacting. So next up, I have Roblox. This one I have had a position for a bit. It's such a slow grinder, but it's moving up, right? Which is good as long as it keeps grinding. That equals profits. However, I want to see if it can get back above like this zone here. So I could put a rectangle just to visualize. Like this area here is where we need to get past. You get past this, and then you're going to have a big run to the top, way higher. We did have a very powerful wick here, kind of similar to what we had in the SPY and the Qs. Excuse me. So, but this is a more powerful move to the upside. So I would say I took a little bit off. Some people would go in here for a new trade, as it is could be a breakout trade where you set your stops right here, which is a very tight stop at the bottom of the channel or a little bit below it, because sometimes market makers will flush people out and then rip it back up. Which is exactly what happened here. You could get into this with like a tight stop, and then just, your upside is, pretty high when you're in blue sky territory. So I did take a little bit off because I wanted to allocate the money to other stocks. Because, I'm always trying to chase the fastest horse in the race. And but Roblox is good though. So take a look at IBM. I still am holding this. I have some calls that are in the money. I think it was up like 90% on the calls. And let's see, where did I get in? I got in here. This was probably in my very first video. And by the way, guys, this is a totally new channel. That's why I say my very first video. I just launched last week. So if you guys give me a like and a subscribe, that would be awesome, because I want to know if this information I'm giving people is actually helpful. And if it is, I really want to help out other people in their learning journey, because I struggled a lot. And when you struggle in trading, you lose money. It's not just your ego. You actually lose real money. So hoping to get these tips across to you that could help you out. And, if you disagree with me, I'm totally open to criticism. I'm always learning. Nobody's perfect in trading. It's one of the hardest things you can ever learn. Absolutely brutal. But when you nail it you just feel so good. Anyway, sorry about that rant, but IBM, once this broke out here, this was my signal to go long, and then I had my eye on this level at 257, which coincides with this previous support, which would be flipped into resistance. So as it went up, I added a little bit here. As it cracked up over the line, pulled back. I'm like, that's fine. It's just really retracing to this area here. And then now it's pushing up. After hours, pushing up a little bit more. I think this has a very good shot of filling the gap all the way up here. Obviously, I'm not going to hold my position hoping that it will go all the way up there, but I will start to trim at, but once we get to this level, I'll trim, half, and then, 3/4, and then, whatever quarter is left in case this thing just decides to absolutely go and set new highs. You could have like 1/8 of the position remaining. That way you never miss out on a big run in swing trading. Next up, Palo Alto. I covered this in my video yesterday, which, kind of looks here like we had the beginning of a downtrend, breaking out of this channel, and then it formed sort of like a head and inverse head and shoulders. So we have like the neckline. So once we get above this zone up top here, which is about I'm going to set an alert about 208. I have a beginner position in this, not much. But once we tag this, I'm going to add into it because people short at these all-time highs, and when they have to cover, it absolutely explodes. And another thing is that when you have here, you can imagine that there is a level here, an invisible wall, and it tried to take it out once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. And what it's doing is, even though it's getting rejected, it is eating away at all the shorts up here. Eventually, they will get exhausted, because the more you slam into a level, it will eventually break. The chances go up higher and higher that you will break right through it. And it's looking like it here. Very long-term inverse head and shoulders. And this could, you could extrapolate that. There's a way to measure, I believe it's from here to here, and then you just extrapolate that. Let me show you. So this is about 22%. So you could get like 22% roughly up here as your target. So that would take us about to 250 all-time highs on Palo Alto. Okay. Enough about that. CoreWeave, one of the coolest charts I've seen in a while. And I am out of this, but I'm still watching it. So I called out the double bottom here around, I believe it was on the 9th. I may have called it out. Yes, absolutely. It was the 9th that I called this out, and I said, we have found a double bottom, and this is getting ready to go up. We have this, I said, we have this trend line up here, and then we have a second one coming down this way, and they intersect. Pretty interesting pattern. And I figured once we get up to this pocket right here, this is probably where we're going to meet the most resistance. So as we got up here, I sold the whole thing up here. I don't typically do that, but this was such a great trade. It made a pretty decent chunk for me. So I was like, I am out completely. However, now we want to watch out which direction it's going to go. It could just chop sideways here, which, would be fine to build some structure and continue. That would take it upward in a longer time frame. But if it goes up and it just rips right through this zone, that's a sloppy line. If it rips up here, it's going high, and it's going there fast, because it's just knocking out. It just knocked out 2 different trend lines on its way up. So watching for that. You could take a new position here if it goes through. but early, and then you'd have like a tight stop, because it could go up above one of these lines and then just use them to retrace back, and people will be like, oh, it's going to fail. No, it's just, it could do something like this, retrace, and then go up. So you just have to watch how it's behaving in the next day or two. I think we're going to get a lot of clues on many of these stocks I'm mentioning within the next day or two. Meta, it's on my radar. I'm not in it, but we had a nice upward movement long term. Came back down to fill the gap, and which is good, because when you fill gaps in an uptrend, now you have more structure and you are more likely to continue the long-term trend. So, as ridiculous as the price of Meta is right now, it has room to run, in my opinion. This one I'm going to watch tomorrow. 796 is my alert. If I could even bring it a little bit lower. I don't have to get in that far in. If this breaks tomorrow, yeah, going long. Blue skies, blue skies. We got rate cuts. Tech is going to start running. I see this sometimes where the market, after a Fed announcement, the market reacts a little bit, but the real reaction just comes the next day when everybody has processed the news like completely and like everything that's been said. So I think we might get a nice push up tomorrow. Oh yeah, look, the futures, the S&P futures are up. So good in the after hours. All right, next up, Datadog, and we had a long drop from early of the year down to May, came back up. We retested this twice, this level here at 148. This one was a fail. It looked like, it was a continuation after retracement, but no, it went down bad. And then now we have tried to take out this level a second time, pulling back again. So now we're going to go, now it's heading up for a third time. Similar to, I think it was a Palo Alto chart, where I was showing you that it just keeps pushing into that level. And that's what a lot of stocks are doing in the market right now. They are just pounding into the resistance levels that are up top, and they wants to run. We're going to see whether these rate cuts really move the market or not, but we're got to be a little bit patient. Next, Circle, still struggling here at this resistance zone. I'm not really favoring it much. Maybe if it breaks the 200 SMA, which is at 146. Let me tag it, put a line here. Yeah, if it gets through here, I'm more than happy to go long on it up to this level, 185 or even higher. Google, this is you got to switch to the hourly here to show you this. This is kind of like a intraday scalp. It started like grinding, and then it went up, and then it had a pullback to this trend line. And I was like, okay, this is could be a nice long into the close, but it did go up, and it is continuing here in after hours. But I thought, I could hold this over into the next couple days. So this is, just a little bit of roll of a dice on the Google one, just to see if it would hold this. But I could easily stop out tomorrow if it pulls back. Open Door Technologies. So we had a very big push up in September, followed by a pullback that is, I think, proportional to this move up, because you don't want it to keep going up in a straight line, then it will collapse. Now you have support, and we got a very nice move off of it, but we failed to break up. However, it is looking here that this area here, we are building up some steam and getting ready to push into it. I don't have a position in it, but this actually might be a pretty cool play tomorrow if it breaks through here. This is definitely long. If you break the high on the third attempt, that's great. And it's holding here. You got these big wicks at the bottom. So seems to me that it's doing pretty strong. All right. Let's see. PayPal is looking good, in my opinion. We're in this long-term sideways channel. We have broken the 200 SMA and we have closed above it. That to me is a very bullish sign. And when you break and hold above the 200 SMA, it could indicate a big shift in momentum. However, we won't know for sure until tomorrow. You got to have another green candle close above it. Then we're like, okay, this is going. I haven't gone in this yet, but it's just something to watch. Now, I don't want to forget about crypto because it ties into everything that's going on here. You know, we have rate cuts, you have equities rising. Crypto should run on this news. Yeah, we did get seems this is like maybe a late push after the close today. And we are, so let me just zoom out here, show you. I'm still stuck in the hourly. Oop. There we go. So yeah, we still in the channel here, went up, pulled back to this green line, and now we're ready to go again. So we got room on crypto. Let's take a measurement here. About 8%. You could see then, you know, Bitcoin rip 8% easy because Bitcoin is the majority of the market. Now, I want to draw your attention back to this green line again, because this is a very significant line. Started back here in 2021 through to December 2024, and now we are right at it. This for me is a inflection point. Once you get past this and hold above it, you have flipped the chart to the upside. This will be the parabolic phase. I mean, it's not just the hype that people are saying. This is what I see on the chart. If it fails it and then drops, then bull market over. See you later. Bitcoin chart, not much different than the total market cap. Ethereum, it's just sleeping right now, not doing very much, but holding this line, looking good. Chainlink, this is, I have to show you this, guys. This is really beautiful. Look at that long-term pattern here. I mean, this is a cup and handle if I've ever seen one. Really beautiful. And up here on Chainlink, I've marked the all-time high market cap because it really had to be adjusted because they had a lot of, I'm not sure dilution is the word, but minting of coins or release on the market over the past couple of years. So this is really where the all-time high market cap happens. And I think it's headed there easily. Chainlink is, the narrative is going to come to it eventually because, you know, we've been through the excitement in Bitcoin, the excitement in Ethereum. It's going to start trickling down to Chainlink, Solana, maybe Cardano, but Cardano's not getting that much. And then you have all the smaller coins that are, you know, probably going to rip. But I really like this, not just for the technicals, but because I really believe that this is going to be core to crypto infrastructure. And once you start getting mentions of banks having big projects with Chainlink, it's going to shoot up. And there are already so many pilot programs going on with banks with Chainlink. So, however, you know, not to hate on XRP, but, you know, we look at the market cap. It's at 16 billion market cap, which is not that big for, you know, compared to like Ethereum or Solana. So this has a lot of upside potential. And, oh, and I forgot to say, ETF, Grayscale, end of year, very possible. And there was something that they did recently with treasuries pricing using Chainlink. So the adoption is happening. It's just very quiet and mainstream has not caught on to it. Cardano trending upwards, nothing exciting. Solana is looking nice. This is looking very bullish to me. Look how it totally got out of the channel. Like it was like, screw this channel. I'm shooting up, and I had its pullback and now it's going to go up again. I have a target for this at about 294. I did not have a position in this. I did only notice this today when I was looking at it. However, this could give about a 20% move to the upside. And if you use something like the 2X ETF, the SOLT, you'll get about 40 to 50% return on this trade. So thinking about this, getting in this tomorrow, Again, this is not financial advice. This is just what I am doing and providing the information to you as a learning experience. So guys, I just want to tell you one really important thing. This is a new channel, and if you found my information helpful and you want more updates, you got to give me a like and a subscribe so I can know to make more of this. Please let me know if you like it. If you don't like my material, let me know why. Let me know how to improve and give you guys more valuable content. Sorry if this was a long video, but I want to give you guys as much content and value as possible. If you have any stocks that you are interested in and want me to analyze it, please drop it in the comments section. Peace and love, guys. I will talk to you very soon.